Hey guys, Squatch Reloading here. Today we are going to keep moving forward on our Dillon XL750 10mm load series featuring our Acura Outdoors 180 grain hollow points. So in this video we're going to focus on getting our seat depth or our case overall length set up with our Dillon seating die, and then we're also going to go ahead and get our crimp established with our Dillon crimp die. So the 10mm utilizes a taper crimp like most of your auto loading pistol calibers. So once we get those finished, then we're going to be moving on to setting our powder measure up, and maybe that pesky powder cop. I'm still on the fence there, but we might get that set up as well. So let's get started getting our seating die set and our crimp die. All right, so I've taken our Dillon seating stem apart. So we can see the individual pieces. So we have our main threaded body, a clip, a keeper pin that's corresponded to two different ODs on the main stem, and then a reversible seating stem. And this is reversible because we have a couple different styles of or profiles of bullets that we're going to use. One is for a truncated cone or a flat nose, and the other one is for a round nose. Now our Acura projectiles, they're kind of a hybrid. They're a round nose with a hollow point. So we're going to determine which end of the seating stem we want to use by placing it in there and seeing which end fits the snug or fits the best on the profile. And in this case, we're going to use the round nose end of the seating stem. And so to put this back together, it's pretty simple. There's a large and small hole on the seating stem itself, so we're going to make sure we have the rounded nose end out, and we're going to place that into the die body, put our keeper pin in place it back into the threaded housing, and put our keeper on the end. So there we go, we're ready to set this die up. So our seating die is going to go in station 4. Station 3 is going to be reserved for that powder cop if we choose to put it in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the lock ring all the way to the top, and we're going to go ahead and engage the die a couple threads. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this brass pin, and I'm going to be using some of the cartridges that we've already put the case bell on. So I'm going to slide that into station 4. We're going to take one of our Acura projectiles or bullets. We're going to place it into the cartridge and then bring the ram up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to thread the die down until we touch the top of the bullet. So I've just touched it. So we know we want to set these at 1.25 inches. And we've got a long ways to go. So I'm going to back the ram up just a little bit because I do not want it to index. And I'm probably going to give that a full turn, go ahead and start to insert the bullet, and then we're going to measure it and see how close we are so far. Okay, so checking our inserted bullet here, we're at 1.47. So we've got quite a bit to go. I'm going to go ahead and get this dialed in, just repeating the process I showed you, and I'm going to reinstall this back into the station, bring it up, and then keep making turns until I get that at 1.25. Alright, so we're right there around 125. I'm going to grab a fresh cartridge and another bullet, and we're going to check it. See what we're measuring. Okay, we're right there, 125. So I'm going to call that good. That's close enough for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and button this die down. And again, always do that under load. That way we get the die centered up in the tool holder, and then get the threads fully engaged. So we're just going to snug it up good. And now we're going to move on to the seating die. Okay, so our seating die here, it's going to go in station 5. Station 5 is right here, so it's after the seating die. So we're going to go ahead and engage that in a couple threads, and then we're going to raise the bullet that we have seated and flared. We're going to raise that up into the die. And now we're going to thread this down until we feel it engage the bell or the flare of the cartridge. So right there I can feel it starting to engage. So I'm just going to back it out a little bit so I can move the die. I'm going to go about a quarter turn, then we're going to go back up in the die. So what I'm feeling for is that all of the, I'm going to take this pin out, I'm just feeling that all of the cartridge bells were moved, and it's not. And we know that we can get a base diameter. This OD needs to be 4.423, and right now we're about 427. So we know we got a little bit more of adjustment, but we want to go small adjustments here. You do not want to get overzealous, and you don't want to over crimp. So we're going to check it dimensionally again here. Didn't take too much off, so we'll go a quarter turn, bring it back up in the die. Yeah, I can feel that the bell's still present. Yep. So I'm going to get this, keep doing this and check until I get down to 423. Alright, I think I'm pretty close here. Yep, we're at 423. So that's what we're shooting for. So what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and run this back up into the die, and again we're going to button it down under load, and this is a little tricky here with all these keeper pins. Really my big complaint here about the Dillon die, I'm going to go ahead and pull that pin so I can get a wrench in here. There we go. So again, get it snugged up, make sure we get our pin back in. Okay, now I'm going to pull it, and we're just going to check it and make sure we're not getting in or gouging into the copper jacketing or anything like that, or copper plating, I'm sorry. Okay, so there's the bullet we pulled, and I don't see any damage to the coating. So I think 423 is our magic number on the crimp, and that's what we're going to go with. And keep in mind, we're just wanting to take the bell out. We're not wanting to gouge into the bullet at all. Alright, just for conversation, we're going to rerun the one that we just pulled, and we're going to run it through each station, sizing included, and then check a completed dummy cartridge and see how we look dimensionally and how we fit in the case gauge. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, again on our crimp we were looking for 423. Looks good. Now let's check it in our case gauge. Should drop in freely. No problems, nice and flush. And we'll check our length again. Again, we were right. We're looking for around 125, and we're 125. So we've got all of our dies set. Now let's just kind of summarize. Okay guys, so we got our seating depth established, we got our case overall length, we got our crimp completed. Everything looked great dimensionally and also fit in the case gauge real nice. One thing I want to bring up real quick, you guys can see I'm sporting my Mr. Holster t-shirt. You got till the 18th of this month to get yours ordered, so get over there and get your Mr. Holster t-shirt. In the next video we're going to get our powder drop, our powder measure set to the grains that we want, that we took from our load development. I'm not going to get into the details of recipes and things like that. That's for you guys to do. Get your load manuals, read them front to back, and then you work up loads that work for you. We might even get into that powder cop. I'm still debating on it, but we'll probably get into it just so I can show you guys how to set it up and what the idea of it is. So guys, don't forget to check me out over on Facebook and Instagram at Squatch Reloading. All these videos are on Utah Gun Exchange, Gunstreamer, and over at the Reloaders Network. So until next time, guys. God bless.